Good evening, everyone, and welcome to the monthly meeting of the East Rockaway Board of Education. I'd like to call this meeting to order at 7:04 p.m. on Tuesday, November 19th, 2024. At this time, I'd like to introduce our leader for the Pledge of Allegiance tonight. Donette is a fourth grade student in Mrs. Miolin's class at Center Avenue. She is a hardworking student who shines brightly in her school community. With a cheerful disposition and a love for learning, she inspires her classmates through her dedication and positivity. Caring and compassionate, Donette always lends a helping hand, making her a role model among her peers. Outside of her academic pursuits, Donette has a love for animals, dreaming of becoming a zookeeper one day. Her love for wildlife drives her to explore nature. In her free time, Donette enjoys spending quality time with her siblings, whether it's playing outdoors or engaging in fun activities. For all these reasons, we are so honored to have Donette lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance this evening.
States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation,
under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you, Donette. All right. At this time, we have a few presentations. Mr. DiTomaso? Okay, great. Thank you.
Good evening, everyone. It's great to see so many people here tonight at our Board of Education meeting. Last March, we started a tradition of honoring our staff members here who have been dedicated to the district and put 20 years of service in. This is a way to recognize them for their loyalty and commitment. So we have 5 members that I'd like to recognize. I prepared a statement that I'd like to read. And then after I read the statement, I'd like the recipients to come up and we'll take a picture and you will be receiving your 20-year service pin. So bear with me for just 1 second. It is truly an honor to stand here tonight and recognize a group of exceptional individuals who have dedicated 20 years of their lives to East Rockaway Public Schools. This milestone speaks volumes about their loyalty, dedication, and commitment to our school community. In modern society, where switching teams and chasing opportunities and money elsewhere seems to be the norm, these 5 individuals have chosen to remain steadfast, putting our students, our schools, and our community above everything else. They have consistently embodied the heart of our mission to always put kids first. Their enduring presence has been the cornerstone of what makes East Rockaway such a special place to learn, grow, and thrive. Tonight, I am proud to announce that each of these staff members will receive their 20-year service pin, a symbol of their loyalty, perseverance, and countless lives they've touched. You represent what it truly means to be a rock, strong, reliable, and an integral foundation of our community. On behalf of the school community and the Board of Education, I extend my gratitude to you. Your dedication and work ethic inspired countless students and colleagues. You have led the way for others, showing what it means to serve with integrity and passion. Congratulations on this incredible achievement. Let's celebrate your journey and the lasting legacy you continue to build here at East Rockaway. And these are our 5 recipients. How about a nice round of applause? So first, Fran Dixon, special education teacher aide. Come on up, Fran. Christina Iman, special education teacher. She could not be here with us tonight, but please give her a nice round of applause. Teresa Parente, school monitor. Luann Sheridan, special education teacher aide. And last but not least, special education teacher, Suzanne Volpe. I'll stay here. The next presentation will be our hometown hero. I'd like to call up trustee Ms. Deneen Salufo.
Gordon Fox is Mr. Dependable. His involvement in the East Rockaway community, veteran, senior, and sport organizations is admirable. He has historically created opportunities for children and residents in our village. Most recently, Gordon, a former Marine who served from 1969 to 1973 in the U.S. Marine Corps, was the catalyst for the over 150 veteran banners installed on the lampposts throughout the village. This thoughtful project of veteran service banners created a sense of pride for our veterans and their families, as well as recognition of our community's patriotic values. Gordon is a leader among us. He co-founded the East Rockaway Education Foundation and served as its president for several years. In addition to his service as the vice president on our Board of Education, he was appointed and served 2 years on the East Rockaway Zoning Board and also served on the East Rockaway Village Board as a village trustee for 4 years, deputy mayor for 4 years, and is currently in his second year of his four-year term as our mayor. To say the least, Gordon has graciously dedicated himself to his community. His affiliations with community and veterans organizations include East Rockaway Kiwanis, 22 years served as its vice president, New York Elks Lodge, number 1, 15 years, East Rockaway American Legion, 20 years, East Rockaway VFW, 9 years, Vietnam Veterans of America, New York Chapter 132, 15 years, Western Detachment of the Marine Corps League, 18 years. Gordon is a true community member who has had positive impact on our community, and through his volunteer work and activism exemplifies the values of community service and philanthropy, selflessly giving of his time and effort to improving our East Rockaway community and maintaining the values we hold dear and the character of our community. In recognition of his extraordinary character, community involvement, philanthropy, and positive contribution to the East Rockaway community, I present you with the East Rockaway Board of Education Hometown Hero Award. Congratulations.
Can we have all the village trustees come up, please?
Yeah, let them come up too. Yeah, we'll take a picture. Mhm. Come on.
That's a lot of pictures.
Watch when you step in this way. Okay.
Oh, no, whatever you want. I'll do it, because I'll do it. Help? Oh, yeah. All right. Next presentation is by Mr. Gregory. It's about physical education, health, and the athletics department update.
Welcome, everybody. Thank you for this time, and I want to thank the Board of Education and Superintendent DiTomaso for all your support. So, moving forward with physical education, health, and athletics, the question is, what drives us? We have the mission, kids first, but we also want to focus on what physical education, health, and athletics is. So these are the 4 pillars that we focus on, is developing the whole child, because a lot of people think that what we do is just the physical, and you'll get to see it's a lot more than that. Overall wellness for our students and our student athletes, student voice, which is very important, and of course, New York State learning standards. Okay, so physical literacy, basically what we're looking at here is being able to move confidently, competently in various environments. So what does that all mean? So we have our family barbecue. We're able to get together and have a pickup volleyball game, or we're able to go to the park and have a pickup softball game, or better yet, on Wednesday before Thanksgiving, we have our alumni coming back to play football. Okay, these are the types of things that we're looking to do. In addition to that, you may want to be able to pick up a pickleball racket over here in Oceanside and learn how to play pickleball, join a gym, learn how to do the different types of activities that are offered there in their classes. Okay, so the New York State Learning Standards, we originally had 3, and the shift went to the national standards. So there were 5 national standards, but they actually liked one of the New York State standards that we previously had, which is standard number 3, is learning about what is available in our community. So basically what we were talking about, looking at different activities in your community that you can go to, joining a gym and so forth. So we look on the left and the right, we utilize New York State AFERD's curriculum. We also have assessment documents in there. So these are the things that we're using as we're developing our physical education classes. So you might recognize this from back in the day, our old style physical education, single sex classes. We had sports that were geared towards that sex that they only learned. And it was very, very packed. But for now, we're going to talk about what physical education is now. We have two of our seniors that were recognized as East Rockaway's outstanding senior physical education students. They're going to be recognized at their dinner on December 9th. Ms. Leary and myself will be attending with them. So I asked them the question, how has physical education contributed to their high school experience? So we have Timmy Poland will speak first, and then we'll have Erin Lynch speak right after.
During my high school experience, it has allowed me to learn new sports and skills that might otherwise not be offered at my school. It's fun to be able to compete with my friends while also having fun.
And Ms. Lynch.
School experience by teaching me the importance of leadership, communication, teamwork, along with also teaching me the importance of a little bit competitiveness and also while having fun. I also participated in Unified Gym, and that taught me how to assist others.
So right here from their voice, we're looking at the three domains that you're hearing. So yes, you're hearing the psychomotor domain, that's actual the physical activity, but you also heard that they have the affective, which is the cognitive piece where they're thinking. There's different types of strategies, what they're learning in the class, and also the social aspect. That is huge in this class. That is huge what our children need nowadays, especially since we have the advent of technology, we have the phones, we had COVID-19. So this is a class where they're involved with so many different people. Okay, so the new style of physical education. So if you look in the top left, we actually have girls are playing football. We have in the top center, we actually have our classes together. So we have both male and females together. They're grouped differently. In this case, they're grouped by ability. This was a high level group, and we actually have females involved in that game. Okay, there are times where, depending on the unit, that they will separate the groups and they may put different levels in there in order for somebody to either do some peer tutoring in the class, to do some assessment, and so forth. In the bottom, we have our elementary school students that are working on the basic fundamental locomotor skills. And we're going to highlight our elementary classes here. They're working on their locomotor skills, their spatial awareness, and this is actually highlighting one of our new pushes, trying to meet all those minutes that they're supposed to have in the class, and we have that with our classes doubled up, where we have two physical education staff members in there. So the first one is at Rame Avenue. They're working on fitness, their spatial awareness, and they're utilizing different techniques that they'll use at center. So we have both classes in there for their third time that they meet in the 6-stage cycle. And we have the same type of same type of lesson at Center Avenue.
We are going to hop like our bunny again, but our bunny is what? Low, right? So we're going to hop like our bunny. Low bunnies. And our bunnies.
And then at our secondary level, where we're actually focusing more, this is the high school class, where we're beyond the skills, we're working on the strategy piece. So they're actually working on a newer unit that we brought in called Speedball. It's actually a mix of two sports, soccer and European handball. So you're going to see it's going to be a little bit slow paced because they're still learning the skills. But what they're looking at is offense. They're trying to work on a 3 versus 2 situation. And on defense, they're trying to play man to man.
Confident. Hey.
Got an end zone.
Go.
And that's what we're looking at with our new physical education. So I want to give kudos to my fellow colleagues because I did work with them to take our permanent substitutes and ensure that in each building that we're able to hire a physical education permanent substitute. This way, if a teacher is absent, we can still run that class. Now, obviously, if the phys ed teacher is not absent, somebody else is, they can fill in for that. But I think it's worked brilliantly. I'm sure they can attest to it. And then on the right, again, I'd like to thank the support of Mr. DiTomaso and the Board of Education because we hired Ms. Curran to help us meet the minutes and the mandates for physical education. And she's been working out phenomenally. You've actually saw her in 2 of those lessons that I showed before. If you don't believe me, you can ask the building administrators, and I'm sure if you speak to the phys ed teachers, they'll sing wonders. I also want to highlight Ms. Kelly as well, because one of the things that we've been working on with the elementary teachers is because it's something new where we're having multiple classes in there is how are we working together? How are we able to meet the standards? How are we able to move safely? And that's what we're doing. So a lot of times we meet pre and then we meet post. We have those informal conversations. And then eventually we'll have a regular observation with a class like that so that they feel comfortable. So Ms. Kelly gave a nice little note to Mr. Smiley on what he's done. And if you notice Super Gym, that's what has been affectionately dubbed by the students themselves. So they're having a great time. And one of the things that they've noted is that they love being able to see their friends in the other class in phys ed class or Super Gym. Okay, so health literacy. Today, it's very easy to look on your phone and get information. What we're doing now with health, rather than sitting there and lecturing, is we're trying to give the skills needed to access the information, to be able to advocate for that information. These are the skills needed to move forward for our students to be successful in life, not only for themselves, but eventually they may be caring for somebody, whether it be a child or a parent, so they need to be able to understand what information they're using. So prior to me being here, we really weren't doing our health in the elementary schools. Some schools had the resources that were very old, some schools didn't. So I worked with our assistant superintendent of finance. We were able to get the Health Smart curriculum back in. So we're now K-12 with Health Smart, which not only addresses the New York State learning standards, but also the national standards. And the reason why I mentioned that is for health education, similar to what physical education went through, they are looking to revamp the New York State standards, and they are most likely going to be utilizing, same thing as phys ed, those national standards. So that's something I'm actually going to be speaking about with the state ed health director as we move forward. So this is actually from our mental health unit. This is a kindergarten lesson. So they're able to show, and this works hand in hand with our ruler program, which is a district initiative, which is fantastic. They're able to show their feelings. They go through it, and then there's an opportunity to take it home to speak with their parent or guardian with it. And then moving forward in a 4th grade unit, still in our mental health, as you see the developmentally appropriate curriculum, now we're talking about stress. They go through it. They are able to look at the different pictures, discuss it. They're put in groups, and they're able to show their feelings as well. So these are the types of things that we're doing at the elementary health level, which now is programmed in. And what's a nice touch is they're actually being pulled out into the library and conducting the classes there as a health class, whereas last year they were pushing into the classroom. At the secondary level, again, this is where we're really focusing on the topics. They're working in group projects. So here they're working on alcohol. They're working, talking, and discussing in groups all the different effects that they may have. For example, I just did an observation in our health class, and they were working together on how to advocate for certain things, and they created videos. So they were sharing out videos, and the students were teaching each other the certain things that they need to know for whatever the issue is that they have to deal with. So this is, I believe, a high school class, and we also have the middle school class We have it broken up between the 6th grade and the 8th grade for now. Okay, moving on for athletics. We have a lot of great things going on here, but we couldn't have done it without the work of everybody here. Okay, so some of the things I'm very proud of is our unified program. Myself, I have a child that has autism, so this hits home for me big time. We have our students with special needs working directly with general education students, and they're treated the same. So we have our unified PE class, which I was in today. It's fantastic. If you ever get a chance, come down and see it. We have our unified basketball team, and we actually last year started an intramural unified basketball team because we had the need for that. So what was great about this is our coaches came to us. We want to treat everybody the same. Can we do a senior day? I said, absolutely. We had parents come down. We had teachers come down. We publicized it. We had staff come down. It was fantastic. If you look down at the bottom, we have our physical education unified PE class. They're working with students in that class there. In addition to that, the unified basketball team for the past 2 years have won their tournament. So one of the things that they asked for, and we got it right away, was a banner to hang in the gymnasium as well. So if you walk into the gymnasium, as soon as you walk up, right to the right, it's up there. The Challenger program, I was very, very excited about this. We got fully funded to run these programs. So we offered a Challenger basketball team, which is great about this is our girls junior high basketball team runs in the same season. So oftentimes they'll be in there to assist them. Same thing, we had their parents come for their senior day as well. And we have a lot of the junior high students come in to celebrate them at their games. We also give opportunities for our special needs students. We had Alina, who has been on the cheer team ever since I've been here, and she's done fabulous. She just performed at homecoming as well. And one of the things that I'd like to highlight is Jack for our lacrosse team. He joined the lacrosse team. Let's see if we get the sound up.
Stay behind him. Stay behind him. Run, Jack. Stay behind him, guys.
I apologize for the camera.
Let's go, Jack. Jack. It's right there. Shoot it.
Jack scores his first goal. Team celebrates. He loves it so much, he does his own little dance.
Give me a dance. Show it a dance. Hey, hey, hey. Yeah, bring it in on Jack. Everybody bring it in.
Okay. So once again, they did a great job. Our staff decided to buy their own shirts to celebrate and to show off how much that they enjoy it. And then we have our track. That was the first, last year was the first year we actually joined the Challenger track team. It was a fantastic day. We do a lot over in Massapequa. Okay, so student voice, you heard me talk about this, but before I get into the surveys, one of the things that the students came to us with unified PE, and I worked with Mr. Madden and Mr. Schaefer, is the students really wanted to be in the unified PE class. However, because they enjoy PE, they still wanted to be able to be in a regular phys ed class with their friends. Before they came to us, there was only one option. So they spoke with us and we said, it's a no-brainer. Why don't we make unified physical education both? It can be the phys ed requirement, but it can also be an elective class. And it was a home run. So kids right now, they're able to either do just unified PE or they can do that and a phys ed class as well. So that has helped increase attendance in that class for unified phys ed. So the surveys, I did this when I first got here. I spoke to the board. Mr. McNally, you may remember my first year here. This is to get an idea. So when we look at the budget to be fiscally responsible, what the trends are going to be to try to get ahead of the game. So what I do is we do a survey for current 6th and 7th graders. That would be our junior high school for next year. And then one for 8th through 12th. Okay. The 12th grade, we would just take information from this school year and they wouldn't have any questions for them for the following school year. So at this point, I have exactly 100 responses and you can see right here what the numbers are. Boys soccer is something we have to watch a little bit. And then boys lacrosse, girls lacrosse, that's going to be an iffy. Unified basketball may have run its course because the students that were really interested in it are currently in 8th grade now. So they would be able to be on the varsity unified basketball team next year. So I have to take a look and see who those two kids are, because they may be just general education students. But you could see one of the teams that we really focused on was the winter track, which was a new program, has grown exponentially. Right now we have, I believe it's 27 students on the winter track team for junior high school right now. We had boys soccer was our first time ever team for this school year. And we added bowling intramurals as well. So bowling intramurals has been going over great. It's the different niche of students that don't like the team sports. They're able to go here. We bus them right over to Rockville Center. They go to bowl Tuesdays and Thursdays, and we bring them back. So we've had very positive outlook on that. The high school, I don't have enough information on them yet. We only have 88 responses, so we're going to try to revamp that as well. I want to thank Mr. DiTomaso. He was out there with me when kids were scanning in. We were both trying to recruit them to do the surveys. So we got about 25 that morning, Mr. DiTomaso, so I may call on you again. But that's how we're going to drive. The big thing was I heard a lot about girls swimming. Out of the 88 responses, I've only had one girl swimming. So even though we may hear it, I'm not seeing it. So I'm only going to be bringing things that really need to be seen. What is interesting though is flag football for girls. That is something, because I leave an area for them for a comment. So that's something that has been put in there. So that's something that we have to think about moving forward as well. But as I get more information, that's where I'll sit down and I'll discuss with Mr. Van Wart and Mr. DiTomaso. So this is something I really want to highlight. So last year, I brought a lot of students to student athlete leadership conferences. So the question is, what do we do with that? I wanted to come back and I spoke with some of the coaches. So we decided we're going to make a student athletic leadership committee. So that's what we did this year. So we gave them 2 charges. So we've been informally doing either a charity service or a community service thing each year. It was informal. It was like, hey, do you want to do it? It'd be great. I would like for you to do it. This year, we're actually putting it in motion. So we meet for those students that go to the athletic leadership conferences. We pull in the captains as well, and they're part of that committee, and we give them the parameters. They have to decide what they want to do, bring it back to their team and their coach, and then we put it to paper. We put it down. This is what they're going to do. And in addition to that, because sportsmanship has been such a big thing, not only in Section 8, but all across the country, we really wanted to push a sportsmanship endeavor. So I tacked that on too. And we've had amazing success so far. So just alone, if you look up in the top center for the cross-country officials, so the cross-country team decided they were going to give snacks out to the officials at their last meet, thank them for everything that they've done, and it was a huge hit. So we actually got an email. I copied it and put it on here for everybody to read. So basically, we had the head officials of the association were there, and they were so taken aback by this that they had to write to us. So I shared it right away with Mr. Schaefer and Mr. DiTomaso, and they've always recognized our efforts. As a matter of fact, 2 years in a row now, we've had Dr. Soto 2 years ago and Mr. Valentino last year were named, they were awarded for the Sportsmanship Coach of the Year by the track officials. So if we go back, we had a few other things, and like I said, we actually have done things in the past. So if you look on the bottom, we have our baseball team did a clinic. So this was last year. So we've been doing this. They've also, something that I think is amazing is they actually schedule for the varsity team to go down and to read books to our elementary children. They absolutely love it. Okay, so if you can imagine our 6'7" pitcher laying on the floor reading to kids in the kindergarten class. It's fantastic. So our volleyball team had their Dig Pink Day. We were recognized by Team Up for Community. They did their fundraiser. They donated to Susan Coleman breast cancer. And additionally, their sportsmanship initiative, Oyster Bay doesn't get here on time. So they get here very late. They leave very late. So we packed up, they packed up goodie bags for them so they can have snacks when they go home on the bus. They both did it for the JV team and the varsity team. They also did it for the officials. And if we look at what we did, I showed cross country, and you can see the officials are right there with our student athletes. And then the last one that was highlighted was our cheer team. They provided 2 free clinics, one for grades K-2 and the other for grades 3-6. It was a huge hit. K-2 sold out, I think, within 2 weeks. They were at capacity. And some of our accomplishments. These are just a few of the things. So on the bottom, our first ever history, that is our boys junior high school team. And I hope that we have it for years to come. Our Award of Excellence for Sportsmanship, this is our 4th year in a row that we've earned it. What I really want to highlight is our scholar athlete team. So 3 years in a row now, we have earned this. This is 75% or more, and we've been at more, of our teams earning scholar athlete team status. So we've never had this before. So this is a big push that I was asking our coaches to go for. And I would like to announce that 100% of our fall varsity teams earned scholar athlete team status, and 62 of our student athletes were scholar athletes. So that's a great thing right there. In just a little over 3 years, we've added 5 teams. We've added 3 intramural programs, and we've added 2 challenger teams. That's really unheard of for any school district to do, much less in 3 years. So that's a kudos to this community, this Board of Education, and this team altogether. A couple other things I wanted to highlight was I mentioned Dr. Soto, and I did mention Mr. Valentino, and updating our Hall of Fame and our championship banners. That was a big undertaking because if you look at our hallway, we really don't have much more space. So I helped Coach Flores. We became digital, so now we have our display out in the hallway, and we actually started changing the banners in the gymnasium to freshen things up. The next thing that we do, I just have the banners just came in. We're going to relocate our Ring of Honor, which is our retired numbers, which are in the small gym, which nobody sees. So now we're going to be hanging them up in the big gym. So I'm waiting on our buildings and grounds to have some time. So we have games all the time. We're probably going to do it over the Christmas break if possible. Try to get those up. We're going to invite all those honorees or their families back, and we're going to have a little ceremony for them. We have a plaque for them as well. Okay. And why all this? Because this is how it connects to our strategic plan. A lot of them do overlap, but this is how we create our opportunity. This is how we create our achievement. Okay, this is how we do our innovation, our challenger programs, unified. Okay, and this is how we do our connection. We had our RAC meeting. We had the community involved. We had student athletes involved, coaches giving input. Some of those decisions are going to help drive the budget. Okay, and of course, as I said, the student survey. But again, I really want to highlight the student athletes because they're the ones that have taken the charity and community service and the sportsmanship endeavor, and they ran away with it. They've hit a home run. Okay, so at this point, I want to thank everybody because I could not do this without everybody. We're a great team here, and thank you for your support. Are there any questions from the board? Sure. For athletics? Okay, so typically what we do is we go down to elementary school. I set up a time with them. I come down, so like I literally just did that with the surveys with the student athletes, and I go through them and show them what we have, what is available that we don't have, and I let them know. if this is something that you want, put it down, because that's the information that we have. And I used the example as soccer last year. So I said, we did not have a boys junior high school soccer team, but we had enough students do it. And that's how we were able to validate that we could have a boys soccer team. And I think that's where all the girls were coming in with girls flag football, because they see it at the high school level. So they're like, do we have one for junior high school? I said, no, but it's not on here. I said, it's okay. We can run it as an intramurals, but I need to know how many people are interested in doing it. So that's pretty much how we do it. And then we advertise on Instagram, and then I send out blasts. Now I'm going to be sending everything out on Parent Square, but I was doing everything on Blackboard prior to that. Yep, and we send it to the families as well through the Blackboard and Instagram and so forth. Okay. Mm-hmm. So there's 3 times that they meet in a 6-day cycle. One of those is the super gym. So that's how we did it. So I worked very closely with our building principals and Mr. Madden to align it where we have a staff member. So typically, I believe it's on even days is when you would see those. I know on day 2 is all Rame. I believe day 4 is all center. Okay, again, nods here. And then it's split on day 6 between center and Rame on when that happens. Okay? Sure.
As far as the sports that you think that we might be close to on the cutoff, it's something that we've looked into doing that we do with other schools to bring in maybe another school to stuff.
That we don't do that at the middle school level. There are no combined middle school teams. Typically, if there is a combined middle school team, it's typically within district. So for example, if we use Lynbrook, they have Lynbrook North and South. They made, so let's just say it's, I'll just throw fencing out there. If they did a fencing team, they may do it between those schools. Or for example, at the Sewanaka School District, they have the 5 schools. They would have 5 junior high schools. They would make one district team. So at the middle school level, that's not really happening, because what typically happens at the middle school level is they'll make a second team. So they'll do an 8th grade and a 7th grade team, or they'll do no cuts and they may have an additional coach join a team. So for example, Rockville Center, at a certain number, they add more kids. They add a second coach based on a number of kids that join. So it's kind of tough on that. So we would have to look to see if we can offer something else. No, because he doesn't do cuts, so he takes everybody on the team. Yeah, yeah. I've already explored that with boys soccer in the past with him.
So the teams for next year that we're not getting enough turnout for, and so we wouldn't do that team for.
No, we're still going to advertise those teams. So, for example, Mr. DiTomaso and Mr. Schaefer, I've been in close communication with them. We had 11 boys for boys junior high school soccer for, I want to say 2-3 weeks. It wasn't until I got them in here and I was able to recruit, and all of a sudden that 11 jumped to 16, then to 19. So that's what we try to do. And then of course, we have the ultimate recruiter in Coach Kanji. So if we need something, he knows how to motivate kids to join. But and then that's also the job of the coach, is to do that. And we try to do open workouts, clinics, and that's how we grab their interest. The middle school is very, very social. So, and I let the parents know this right away. Your kid could have been playing baseball, but then all of a sudden his friends are all playing lacrosse. So they're gonna say, hey, Gary, come join lacrosse. And I've gotten parents telling me this, like, I don't know what to get my kid. He wants to do lacrosse. He never played lacrosse. So I'm like, okay, well, he's going to need this. He's going to need this. I'm like, just support him, because maybe he likes it. And same thing with the ladies. We had girls that had never played basketball coming out, and track has it's exploded. So there's so many kids that want to do it, and a lot of it is driven by their friends. When I first got here, we had 4 junior high school cheerleaders. Now we're up to, I think it was 28. So it's ebb and flow with our school district, and that's why we do. Yes, that's why I do the surveys, to try to get ahead of it, to see what a trend is. So I already spoke with Mr. DiTomaso and Mr. Schaefer about girls basketball, softball, and baseball, we're looking iffy at the JV numbers. Okay? Okay. All right. Thank you. Bonnie, want to just show up?
Thank you, Mr. Gregory. All right, next item is new business. Mr. DiTomaso?
Thank you, Mr. McNally. I'd like to acknowledge the Ed Foundation for supporting us. The Ed Foundation has a little bit of a different strategy this year. Instead of awarding all the grants at one time in the spring, they are now, after each meeting, awarding grants. So we received 2 grants, one for a 3D printing station and one for therapy dog visits. So I'd like to thank the Ed Foundation for that. I'd also like to acknowledge the Loras Brothers Family Scholarship, and a thank you to Joe Loras for supporting our students and keeping that active. We received a cash installment to keep that scholarship going. And last but not least, this is a blast from the past, the Miriam Flores scholarship. We received a $500 donation in the name of Miriam Flores to keep that scholarship going. So I'd like to thank all those who are donating to the district. And that's it for new business.
All right, and old business?
I have none at this time.
Okay. Next is public comments on agenda items. At this time, are there any comments regarding tonight's agenda items? No. Okay. Approval of minutes. Are there any further questions regarding the minutes from the regular meeting on October 22nd, 2024? No? Okay. Can I have a motion to approve the minutes from the 10/22/24 meeting, including the corrected donation amount under item 5.3 as approved at the last board meeting, and to have this reflected in the official record of minutes? Motion by Mrs. Salufo, second? Second by Mr. Flores. All in favor? Opposed, abstained, motion approved. Next is acknowledgement of correspondence. And at this time, I don't think we had any, right? We did not have any correspondence. Okay. All right, next. Tonight, we have the revised district-wide safety plan, which includes the new state-mandated requirements added to the previously filed plan, ready for board approval. This plan was posted on the district website for the 30-day public comment period, and no comments were received. Does anyone have any questions? Okay. All right, can I have a motion to pass the district-wide safety plan? Motion by Mr. Flores, second. Second by Mrs. Doyle. All in favor? Opposed, abstained, motion approved. All right. Okay, and Part B of that, classified resignation. Upon the recommendation of the superintendent, accept the following resignation in order to accept another position in the district, and that is Mr. Robert Kennedy, position Assistant Director for Pupil Personnel Services, effective date November 19th, 2024. Can I have a motion? Motion by Mrs. Doyle, second. Second by Mrs. Lonergan. All in favor? Opposed, abstained, motion approved. All right. Next item, creating a consent agenda. Are there any questions from the board on the consent agenda? No. Okay. Can I have a motion to create the consent agenda with the following items? Recommendation of superintendent's personnel schedules, item 5A through H, other items 6A through H, approval of CSE and CPSE recommendations 7A, and budget transfers 8A. Can I have a motion? Motion by Mrs. Lonergan, second. Second by Mrs. Salufo. All in favor? Opposed, abstained, motion approved. Okay, now, can I have a motion to accept the items on the consent agenda? Motion by Mrs. Salufo, second. Second by Mr. Lawrence, all in favor? Opposed, abstained, motion approved. Okay, policy matters.
So we had a policy meeting.
Yeah.
and-
Here you go.
Yeah. We had a policy meeting last week and 9520, yep, that's it, thank you. Policies for review pending adoption, 9520.6, 5300, 5300.30, 5300.40, 5300.65, 1500, 5150, 5150R, and we have 8 policies for review.
Thank you, Mrs. Salufo. Reports, Mr. DiTomaso?
Yes, thank you. So before I get into the aspect of the strategic plan, I'd just like to thank the 3 schools for their recognition of our veterans. At Center Avenue, I was privileged to participate and be involved in a flag ceremony where the children not only recognized the veterans, but sang America the Beautiful and gave them gifts. Miss Kelly and her staff did a fantastic job honoring those who served and those who keep us safe. At Rame Avenue, a wall of honor was created for our veterans in the community and family members of students who served our community. There was an assembly program led by Mr. Bixhorn, and it was attended by members of the VFW and parents of students who served in various branches of the military, and they spoke about their experiences and character traits such as courage and bravery. And at East Rockaway High School, guest speakers presented an English and social studies class. I was fortunate to attend John Donald's presentation. John Donald is an alumni, and he's a former graduate and retired Marine who shared his military experience. In that English class, Mrs. DiGiulio made the connection between Mr. Donald's journal and the novel Things They Carry. And there was an interesting fact that Mr. Donald explained to the class that he had a box as a Marine and had special things in there that he carried. And 2 things that he mentioned were, believe it or not, his class won the cup 2 years in a row, and he had 2 pieces of the cup that he carried with him on his tours as a Marine. So that just goes to show you, the impact of what Rock Rivalry has on this community. So that was an interesting fact I learned from Mr. Donald. And I'm very proud of all the districts and how they celebrated Veterans Day and recognized our veterans in the community. Okay, in the area of achievement, it was an extremely successful season for girls volleyball, varsity football, and cross country. All 3 teams made it to the postseason this year, although the outcomes were not as we hoped. But for 100% of the varsity teams, as Mr. Gregory mentioned, earned scholar athlete status, and 62 of our students were named scholar athletes. So again, congratulations to Mr. Gregory and our coaches on a successful season. I'd like to congratulate Mr. Brian Palermo, our physics teacher, on his appointment to master teacher in New York State. The New York State Master Teacher Program Network consists of outstanding teachers recognized for their dedication to providing the most innovative STEM education to their students. So congratulations to Mr. Palermo on that. And also, I'd like to congratulate our construction team for another successful build. I believe we're on a 3-year run here. The team's structure Lighting the Way to End Hunger was awarded Best Can Configuration, which was given for structural ingenuity. Special shout out to Ms. Morano, who I see here today. Ms. Morano, Ms. O'Shea, Mr. Fino, Mr. Poland, and Mr. Howard for volunteering their hours to make this endeavor a meaningful experience for our students. And it's a great lesson in working together and a great lesson in fundraising and to help others in need. In the area of opportunity, elementary school clubs are flying high. This year, the sports and drama clubs have not only expanded to more grades, and we're reaching more students and giving them those opportunities in which they're having a lot of fun. On October 29th, The school counseling department took seniors and juniors on a field trip to Monmouth University in New Jersey. Students got a tour of the campus, learned about programs, and had a chance to experience traveling to college. Also in the guidance office, Ms. Malesio led an effort to organize and bring our students for the first time ever. I had a chance to speak to her about this today, to the National Hispanic College Fair. We had 20 students attend. This program was free to our students and at no expense to the district, which included transportation paid for by the colleges. As I said, 20 students attended and received information about course offerings and the application process. And Ms. Malesio said our students were thrilled and engaged in the college process, and we were happy to provide that for them, and we're looking for that to continue in the future. In addition, the school counseling hosted a financial aid 101 presentation. I was able to attend that. The presentation provided resources for students and parents, which were posted on the website, will be sent out each month in the newsletter. Students in Ms. Horvath's classes spent the day at Madison Square Garden on November 14th. She is our business teacher. They learned about the history of the world's most famous arena and all of the business behind its operation. Very proud to say, and thanks to Mr. Murray and Mr. Healy and Mr. Van Wart, as well as all our building administrators, that we had a successful superintendent's conference day, and it was a huge success according to our teacher survey. Teachers were engaged in meaningful, productive work on improving their curriculum, lesson design, and alignment with standards in grade level and department groups. Our outside presenters were well received, and our teachers who went outside to conferences spoke positively about their experiences. And I'm very happy to say that now almost 40 teachers took part in year 2 of our 3-year rollout for project-based learning training. And according to the staff developer, and this is an important fact, the teachers created some of the most robust projects she's seen in her years as a trainer after the initial training. So I'm very proud in particular of our staff who was involved in project-based learning. Next year will be year 3, and we'll have the entire district trained in that program. Mr. Healy, Mr. Kennedy conducted our Crisis Prevention Institute, our CPI training, which is de-escalation and crisis management, on Monday and Tuesday, training teachers, aides, and monitors. The training covers a wide variety of topics such as calming strategies and self-care for our students. Participants must be recertified annually and remain throughout the training, restraint training, which is a last resort. On Tuesday, October 29th, I hosted the first of our Superintendent Student Advisory Council with 12 students in grades 10, 12, 8, 7, 6, and 4. I was very happy that I was able to turn over the program to our returning students in the SSAC, and they made the presentation to our new students who were very excited about not only surveying their peers, but looking for and brainstorming ideas on how to improve the school. And as usual, we'll keep the tradition going. This March, they'll be making a presentation to the Board of Education. So I was very excited. Best part of my week in working with students in SSAC. A little more specific information about project-based learning under innovation, in the area of innovation. PBL is underway at the middle school. In Algebra 1, students will incorporate elements of financial algebra to understand the importance of linear equations in everyday life. Meanwhile, grade 7 will use their bowling averages from a recent field trip to the bowling alley to explore concepts in statistics. In Science 7 and Living Environment, teachers are working collaboratively to increase engaging science lessons for our students. Students in Miss Sunzina Mia's 8th grade technology class recently completed their hologram project. I was fortunate enough to actually pop into that class. I was very excited to see the projects that they were creating on the computer and with their various cutouts. And she showed me the final products, and honestly, they were very cool. This is her 2nd year of doing it, and she's looking to expand that program and that activity. In the area of connection, as Mr. Gregory mentioned, the ROCS Athletic Committee was held to gather input from parents, coaches, and student athletes. Students were surveyed, and I want to emphasize and kind of expand on what Mr. Gregory said. Not only is the survey information drive where we move forward. But if we're in that in-between stage, what we've done is we've created intramural programs like we've done for the soccer team. I believe, I'm not sure, was it 1 or 2 years, Gary? 1 year we had an intramural program. The next year we were able to field a junior high program. So, the input that the students give is valued, and we want to give the students opportunities to what they need. So thank you for doing that survey. And I will help you, Mr. Gregory, recruit more kids to complete the survey. No problem with that. Parent Square has officially been launched in the district, thanks to Ms. Bonnie McClellan. She shared a brief overview to families in attendance at the financial aid workshop on Wednesday evening. She spent time at faculty meetings working with administrators, and I sent the inaugural post, I hope you all received it, encouraging families to work on this communication platform and encouraging them to register their accounts. Ms. McClellan also posted additional information on district website and plans to attend upcoming PTA meetings to support parents with their questions and provide opportunities for our staff to learn and utilize this. We are excited about this, and the communications, I have to say, as opposed to using Blackboard Connect Ed, are professional, are very easy to use. You're allowed to, it's very easy to include attachments, pictures, photos. It really is almost like a social media site, but it's totally secure and safe for us. So many districts on Long Island are using it, and I'm very excited to really expand on it and see where the staff goes with it and the parents. Two more things. On Thursday, November 7th, I was able to attend the Kiwanis of East Rockaway dinner held at the Knights of Columbus in Oceanside, where Stephanie Johansson was honored as the Kiwanian of the Year. Joining me there was Principal Mr. Jack Bixhorn. This award is given annually to members who demonstrate exceptional dedication to the club's mission, and we are grateful for what the Kiwanis Club does for our East Rockaway students and community. And last but not least, the J. Esparo Run for Alzheimer's Awareness was held on our track on October 30th, 2024. The Physical Education Department, under the direction of Mr. Gregory, assisted him on his journey to run 7 marathons in 7 days. I'm saying that, Mr. McNally, 7 marathons in 7 days. Physical education classes were briefed on Alzheimer's and were allowed to jog or walk with him during class. He actually ran outside on our track for most of the day. And also Mr. Rain, Mr. Valentino joined him during their free periods. And also the business classes also conducted a visit to learn how donation process works from start to finish. And last but not least, I'd just like to wish the community all a happy Thanksgiving. I know coming up soon, so we have that Wednesday. So that'll be the start of the Thanksgiving holiday. So happy Thanksgiving to all. And that's it for me. Thank you.
All right. Thank you, Mr. DiTomaso. Next is Good and Welfare. Condolences to the Paraja family on the passing of Lily Paraja. Condolences to the Scheel family on the passing of Michael Scheel, a former graduate of East Rockaway High School. Condolences to Ashley Rosen and family on the passing of her father, David Tenner. Congratulations to Alyssa Stegner and family on the birth of her daughter, Juliana Hope Stegner. Congratulations to the Lores family on the birth of Reagan May. Sorry. Congratulations to the Volpes family on the birth of Emerson Rose. Now, public comments. Are there any public comments tonight? Anyone? No. No. So many people. I know. Board member comments. Who wants to go?
Thank you to everyone for all their 20 years plus. Feel proud to be part of the shop where we see so many people that love to stay. Congratulations to Gordon Fox on the Hometown Hero Award. Thank you to the Lawrence family at Foundation and Mary Flores for their donation. Thank you to Mr. Gregory for the presentation. It's very informative and I appreciate it. Great job to everyone for receiving your best. and taking the time to respect them. I always say, whenever you see a vet, stop, say thank you, because what they do is probably the most important thing. And happy Thanksgiving and holiday.
So I repeat everything that I said, and also Mr. Gregory, the presentation was excellent. You never realize how much goes into the athletics and health department and how it's always department in social and emotional growth with the children and our kids. And congratulations to all the students that are students active, academic active. Thank you.
I was going to say similar thing. Good presentation. Congrats to Gordon Fox and all the people that had 20 years in service time.
I repeat everything that everybody just said.
All right. Mr. Gregory, thanks for letting us in to see everything that goes on in the health and phys ed department every day. It's nice to see that. So thanks for a great presentation. I really want to thank Gordon. I've known Gordon for 25 years, and he is, well, him and Dom are, they're both Mr. East Rockaway. And, Dom actually bought Gordon's house 25 years ago, and then Gordon moved 3 houses away and built a new house. And so they both live across the street from me, and I see them, they're best friends, and they both are Mr. East Rockaway, so I couldn't be happier for Gordon. And for all the 20-year recipients. Great job. And happy Thanksgiving, everyone. And let's see. All right, so can I have a motion to adjourn this meeting to go into executive session to discuss matters leading to the appointment of personnel? Can I have a motion at 8:11 p.m.? Motion by Mr. Lores, second. Second by Mrs. Doyle. All in favor? Opposed, abstained, motion approved. Good night, everyone.